Good morning. We will start session 8 on chapter acid, bases and salt. In our previous class, we understood the brief introduction about the salt. We understood what are salt, how are they obtained, which is obtained from the neutralization of the acid and base, or a substance obtained when acid and bases are combined which neutralizes, and from that we get a salt. We get a neutral salt when a strong acid reacts with a strong base or a weak acid reacts with a weak base. We get an acidic salt when a strong acid reacts with a weak base, and we get a basic salt when a weak acid reacts with a strong base. So we understood what is the common salt what we use at home, through which, why it is so important, because that it acts as a raw material through which we can obtain several other chemicals such as sodium hydroxide, washing soda, baking soda, etc. Apart from that, salt also plays a very important role in our day-to-day life. Apart from the food also what we eat, which requires a salt, and also the salt content or the salt amount of salt present in our body, which makes our body balanced. Now, for example, sometimes during dehydration there is loss of lots amount of water is lost from our body. Generally, what we feel dehydrated, right? That is nothing but the salt content from our body is lost, which is nothing but electrolytic imbalance. Our body is disturbed. Our body's electrolyte balance is disturbed. There are some salts present in our body such as salt of potassium, sodium, etc., which are nothing but called as electrolyte. We in turn take a electrolyte packet, which is either in the powder form or in the liquid form, to have a proper balance. So salt plays a very important role. So here in today's class, what are the different chemicals we obtain from salt? Let us understand. So the first chemical what we obtain from salt is sodium hydroxide. Now, how sodium hydroxide is obtained? From a common salt. Sodium hydroxide is also called as caustic soda, which we call it as NaOH, right? A very strong base. But this is obtained from a common salt. How is it obtained? Sodium hydroxide is produced by electrolysis of a concentrated aqueous solution of a sodium chloride known as brine. So, sodium hydroxide is produced by a process of electrolysis of what? Of concentrated aqueous solution of a sodium chloride brine. What is brine? Brine is nothing but it is an aqueous solution of concentrated sodium chloride. We call that as a brine. To tell you what is electrolysis process, in the chapter 1 chemical reaction and equation, we studied about electrolysis of water, where water decomposes into hydrogen and oxygen when electricity is passed through it. Similarly, electrolysis is a process in which we pass electricity to a given solution, which decomposes to form several other substances. So when electricity is passed through a concentrated solution of a sodium chloride, which is brine, it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen. So this is another example of a decomposition reaction also what you can tell, where a sodium chloride on passing electricity, it is being decomposed to sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen. How actually the process happens, we had seen there, right? So we take a solution in a beaker, that means we take a brine solution, brine in a beaker. Brine is nothing but a concentrated aqueous solution of a sodium chloride. Connect two electrodes to it. So one is cathode, one is anode, one to positive terminal, one to negative terminal. So what we do is here, then pass electricity through this solution. So when electricity is passed through a concentrated solution of sodium chloride, brine, it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen. During electrolysis, chlorine gas is produced at anode, which is a positive terminal, and hydrogen gas as well as sodium hydroxide is collected near the cathode terminal, which is negative. This is how from NaCl, we obtained these three chemicals, what we can say. This process is called as chloralkali process. A very important question. They will not ask you directly how sodium hydroxide is obtained in the laboratory or give the electrolysis process of sodium hydroxide is not asked. Rather, explain chloralkali process is asked. Now, why the process is called chloralkali process? Chlor stands for chlorine and alkali stands for a base. That means chloro. Chloro stands for a chlorine. What is the gas obtained here? Chlorine gas is obtained. And what alkali is obtained here? Water soluble alkali, which is nothing but a base, that is a sodium hydroxide. That is why this process is called as chloroalkali process. A very important question which can be asked. Figure is not important, it's just what you can write and the equation. So, sodium chloride, brine in aqueous mixed with water, which undergoes an electrolysis process, that is passing of electricity, gives us sodium hydroxide, this chlorine gas and hydrogen gas are liberated. Apart from this, the chemicals what we have obtained here, or the substance what we have obtained here, have extensive use. That means we use sodium hydroxide for many things, as well as chlorine is extensively and widely used, as well as hydrogen. Now let us see the byproducts of this chloroalkali process, that is sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen. Where are these things used? Uses of sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide, they are used in the manufacturing of soaps and detergent. They are used in the artificial textile fiber, that is rayon. We all know that rayon is known as artificial silk, which you studied in standard 8. It is used in the manufacture of paper. It is used in purifying bauxite ore. Bauxite is nothing but the ore of aluminium. Used in degreasing metals, oil refinery, dyes and bleaches, etc. So these are the uses of sodium hydroxide. Use of chlorine. Chlorine is used to sterilize drinking water, as well as we use that in the swimming pool, right? So chlorine is a disinfectant which kills germs like bacteria present in the water. So hence it is used as a disinfectant. Now usually what happens in swimming pool, there are so many people getting into a pool, that means the chance of infection is more, and again the water. So it acts as a disinfectant which kills bacteria present in the water. It is used in the production of bleaching powder. Bleaching powder, we will be studying it in our next session. It is used in the production of hydrochloric acid, used to make plastics such as PVC. PVC stands for polyvinyl chloride. So we usually have PVC pipes, etc. Used in the pesticides. It's used in chlorofluorocarbon, used to prepare chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, paints, etc. It also, that's why chlorine has extensive use in many things. It is used in making many solvents for dry cleaning. So these are few uses of chlorine. Last one, uses of hydrogen. It is used in the production of HCl. It is used as a liquid hydrogen that acts as a fuel for rockets. It is also used in the hydrogenation of oil. Hydrogenation of oil is nothing but something it is used in the preparation of the vegetable oil. Vegetable oil or vegetable ghee, when we talk about, it is nothing but common terms. We call that as a vanaspati ghee or dalda, correct? Which is a substitute to the oil or ghee what we use. It is also called as margarine. Margarine is a substitute to butter. So it is also used in the manufacturing of ammonia, which is used for fertilizers. So these are the extensive uses or the byproducts of the chloroalkali process where we use them. So in our next class, we will be studying about few more salts, like we will be studying about bleaching powder, which is called as calcium oxychloride. We will be studying about sodium bicarbonate. We will be studying about sodium carbonate, plaster of Paris, etc. So in today's session, if you have any doubt in this class, you can call on the same day of the video center. Thank you.